Okay, welcome everyone to today's show. We are the Transformation Ambassadors. I am Ambassador Bruno Odeji Augustine.
I am Ambassador Winston, or you can call me AKA Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of our time, the great Prime Minister of our time.
Good to have you, my brother.
Yes.
So, a lot has been happening, most especially in River State.
Nigeria as a whole.
Yes.
I think Nigeria is a country where every day at the break of dawn you have a news story.
Yes,
that will
yes.
keep the news engaged.
So let's focus on what happened after the Supreme Court judgment, and a lot of people have been talking. So the one we'll be focusing on today is from Wike, the guy that was always kicked against Godfatherism, and it looks like these days he wants to play the Godfather, and he has come public with it.
Right.
So Wike said heaven won't fall if Sim is impeached.
Yes.
What's your take on it?
But first of all, irrespective of whatever happens, heaven is not going to fall.
Of course.
We are expecting for our Lord Jesus to come, not for heaven to fall. So whatever happens, heaven is not going to fall. Now, on the other hand, like I always say, there are always two sides to every story. There are always two sides to a coin.
Yeah.
The flip side of it is that, what if heaven falls? What if heaven falls as a result of that action? Because I think these are dicey times.
Yes.
I believe we are on the edge or the precipice of something extraordinary, or a trigger that can ignite a spark that would cause a flame that might end up burning down the very democracy and the very constitutional governance that so many have fought for, so many have shed their blood for, including our sitting president. So I believe this is a time for us to be careful. It's a time for us to watch our words. It's time for us to exercise restraint. So that, to what end? We're saying heaven is not going to fall if the governor is impeached. Of course, definitely. Life goes on. Even if someone should die today, the world can do without the best.
Of course.
The world can do without the best. So even if we lose the best today, we're going to move on. But the question is, why does he want the governor to be impeached? On what grounds? Does he serve the interest of the state? Does it serve the interest of the Rivers people? We are talking about heaven falling. There might be far worse things than heaven falling. What if the ground opens up to swallow people? In the time of Moses, the ground opened up to swallow people.
Yes.
No. At least there's no record or in any historical book of heaven falling. But there's a record of the ground opening up to swallow people. And there are certain actions that one can take that can lead to
the ground
such a devastating effect. For example, you can recall when they first attempted to impeach the sitting governor, Govt Fubara. That resulted into that fracas. That resulted into the explosion at the House of Assembly, attempts and shots fired at the life of the governor. So the question is, to what end? Are we for peace? Are we for serving the interest of the people of Rivers State? Or is there something else that they have not told us? So who benefits from Fubara being impeached? And of course, they said he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. So if there are substantial allegations, if there are things that fact that can be proven, that they are proven to, of course he should be impeached. If he has shown any form of gross of misconduct or mismanagement or abuse of power, of course he should be impeached. Because what happens in this country is when we fail to hold our leaders accountable, and the principle of separation of powers has to be respected. It is so unfortunate that people might not tend to regard this action or this move by the legislative to hold the executive accountable. Is because they might be feeling that they are seeing the invisible hand of a godfather at play. But if we remove Wike from the equation, or if we remove our honorable minister from the equation, we are seeing for the first time in Nigeria, if to the best I can recall, where the members of the House of Assembly, because it is always assumed in this country that the legislative is subservient to the executive, just the way they refer to this present National Assembly as a rubber stamp I don't know if it's a propaganda by the opposition parties, a propaganda by the opposition parties, or if it's actually the reality that plays. I've not watched much of the session, but I can feel that there's a little kickback. Although there are some instances where not everything sailed true. It's not 100% what the executive had that's still true. So they see it as a robust, but in this case now, they are seeing the legislative nature rising to the occasion of holding the governor accountable. So let us celebrate that we are experiencing the dividends of democracy.
Okay.
At play.
My brother.
Okay.
In that media parley, he said a lot of things.
Yes.
But
he aired his grievances.
Yes, we'll watch the video.
Now you talk about zonal congress. Arrogance. Unnecessary arrogance. They said they are a zonal governor. Rubbish. Rubbish. You must be governor with character. You can say whatever you want to say. I have never played two roles. I have never. And I will not. And again, the Wobri, the Minister of Petroleum, brought him with David Lyon. This governor, he was kneeling down. I said, no, don't do that. You're a governor, don't do that. Today, you go and call a meeting, South Zone, in your house. Minister of will not be there. Zonal committee will not be there. Senators will not be there. National Assembly will not be there. Isn't that politics is play? Something you can still achieve if you have the tax. Something you can achieve. Now you go and cause problem. I don't run away from fight. I don't run away. I'm not going to leave this party.
Did a man that lacks character, that they literally knelt that before him.
Okay.
So it begs the question that this wicked that calls people out in every opportunity he has.
Yes.
Why is he always like this? I mean, the other time he called the layout, called him all sorts of names, and painted him in a very unprintable picture. And now he's done it. Why is he after everyone's character?
I get it. First and foremost, in as much as we see our political office holders and our public figures as or we revere them, or we see them as or we hold them in high esteem, the basic fact and the truth about it all remains that they are human beings.
Of course they are.
And as a core function or a core manifestation of humanity is emotion, is feeling that finds its way of expression either in conversations or in our reactions. So we can hear of the fact that he's being revered as an idol or as the Godfather. He is a human being. The Godfather is a human being. So he's entitled to his opinion, he's entitled to his expression. He's entitled to express his frustrations about people. But one thing, you can't take it away from him. You understand? Yes, I know we love Wike, we hate Wike, depending on what the actions he has taken at a particular time. I know there's a time we all supported him. But you can't take it away from him that he is a man who is bold to call people out. Yes. Like I said, okay, let's say our people say, when you point one finger at one person, what does it mean? When you point one finger at one person,
3 points back at
yes, you have other fingers that are pointing back at you. What does that tell you? That if Wike is boldly coming out to call people, calling them out, listen, how many of them have come out to dispute what he has said? How many of them have countered those allegations that he has made against them? How many of them have come to say, okay, this is to reveal his own skeleton in his cupboard, to tell you that Wike is not just our honorable minister, is not just is not a, I would like to say, it's not a mere politician. Neither is he a baby. Neither is he a mediocre. Just he is someone who is sound. That's one thing that because he has an abrasive way of doing things. Because he tends to be harsh and arrogant or give up that form of contentious aura. Yes, people tend to look at him and say, "Oh, is that not a motor packed out? Is he not a?"
Of course, it's not.
But Wike is a man of sound mind. Wike is sound. That's one thing people tend to underestimate him. He's sound. He's very sound. And when he comes after someone, he comes after the person with facts, and he backs it up. He backs up his claims with facts. We can give you dates and instances. The way he manages to recall these things, and sometimes I wonder, without reading from a script, I wonder if it's just to tell that is a reservoir or is a library of information on people. He's a man that does his due diligence, because he doesn't want to governance is different from politicking. He sure knows how to politic. So for him to refer to the governor of Bayelsa State, His Excellency, as a man of questionable character, or I don't know the exact
a man that does not have character.
A man does not have that character. Perhaps his transaction, his action with the governor has revealed to him these flaws.
No, why he said that is because he said the governor invited people for a function, and he did not invite him and the House of Assembly members.
Okay. Like I said, he's a human and he's entitled to his opinion. And I want to further reiterate that perhaps his actions and his interaction with the person in question has revealed to him these character flaws that he's highlighted. So it is for the person in question who he has alleged of these discrepancies in character, in these discrepancies in behavior, to come out and say, if he has the right of reply, everyone has the right of reply, and say, oh no, these are my reasons. You can't say I'm this, I've done this with you, I've done this that with you. You explain yourself, you have the right to reply. But from my observation so far and my investigation so far, the Honorable Minister has been right on these things. When he comes out to tell you about someone, he turns out to be right at the end of the day about these persons. He doesn't just come out to make unfounded statements. That's why it's difficult for members of these people that he puts in the eye of the storm to respond to him. It's difficult for them to even counter those claims. So before he alleges that the governor or the person in question is without character, my brother, perhaps he has worked with him and see character, my brother. And me and you know that most of these politicians don't have character.